Hi, thanks for joining the SG Child Show today. I'm so excited to be meeting this morning with Constance Lewis. I just love your name, by the way, too. What
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Um,
Thank you.
and it's a beautiful day here. Where are you at in the world, anyways?
I am in Florida. It's very
Okay.
hot still and muggy. Actually, it's raining right now, so.
Okay, so it's a little bit chiller, huh? Or is it a I don't know. I've only been to Florida like when I was in my teens, so you don't
Yeah,
like not
it's like a hot muggy rain. It's just like, it's like sticky, you know?
Oh gosh, I couldn't. I don't know if I could do it, but I live in Utah, Salt Lake
Oh,
City,
nice.
so I'm literally in the dry heat.
Yeah.
And but here it's actually, I think we had this beautiful spring this year, and
Mhm.
now it's like the fall has been better this year than other
Oh,
falls. It's like going slowly from
mm.
summer into winter instead of overnighting.
Yeah, I'm
We
very
just
jealous.
all together. Oh,
Yeah, I need fall in my life. It's like I decorate for fall in my house and I'm just like, why? It doesn't feel like
oh,
fall, but it's all right. It helps me get in the mood.
exactly. I'll video chat you and you can see all the leaves changing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's so nice. And it's back to school. And we're
Yep.
definitely going to be talking about a project of yours and something near and dear to what we should be working on our kids with. So without further ado, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you for having me. So, I'm Constance Lewis. I am first and foremost a mom of three kids, wild kids. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So, I'm still kind of in the thick of it with the 2-year-old, and he's now napping. So, that's why I'm here. I'm a nurse. I started as a neonatal intensive care nurse, turned childbirth educator, lactation, and then I ended up getting my women's health nurse practitioner as well. I worked in a private OBGYN office, but I worked solely with kids. So in the neonatal intensive care unit, also in the pediatric unit. Was a nurse educator as well. So that was my background. And with 3 kids later, I had to step away. And with Miles's condition and a newborn, I had to step away from the office scene with clients, which is sad. I miss them. But I knew my purpose was here at home. So I've just kind of reinvented myself as a home coach, coaching women and parents. So here I am, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm married to an amazing husband. His name is Andre Lewis, and he is a pediatric dentist, and he's so good at what he does. Everybody loves going to him. He has a ton of neurodiverse kids that go to his office as well,
Love
even up to the age of 35. And yeah,
Wow.
it's beautiful. And he takes
Floridians, listen.
Yes, he's amazing. And him and I wrote a children's book together, and that's why I'm here.
I love that. I love that so much. And
Mm,
I resonate with none of the nursing and my mom was a nurse as far as my nursing experience goes.
there you go.
But I also wrote children's books, and just
Oh.
that heart-centered. It was first going to be just like a little book I was going to give to my daughter, just
Hmm.
to let her know that she was okay no matter how or what or who she ever was. Like she
Yep.
was the reason that she was okay and wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and then it just led into people saying, "Oh, you should do this. You should keep doing this. As you probably experienced as well." So, tell us a little bit about that journey. What started it, and all of that.
Mm.
I'm so excited to learn.
Yes. Okay. So, really, it's such a crazy story, honestly, but I had a dream that I was meant to write a children's book. It was so weird. I literally woke up and I was
Believe
like,
in that. Believe in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Totally.
I was like, okay. And I said to my husband, I think I'm supposed to write a children's book. Like, this is so weird. Like, I never in my life ever thought about being an author or writing a children's book. I actually have a learning disability and comprehension, and I'm a terrible writer and a terrible reader, and I just like was like, what? And so actually, before this book, I am a co-author in 2 other books. There's an infertility and a postpartum book that I co-wrote with somebody with lots of help of editing and writing. And they're like, you actually write really heartfelt. You write really well because it comes from the heart. We just need to fix your grammar and your spelling. So I was like,
flexible. Yes.
yeah. So I woke up and I was like, okay, I'll write a children's book. I have no idea what I'm going to write about. This is so weird. And then I knew it was going to be about Miles, my son. I knew it was going to be about his medical journey, but I didn't know where and how to start. And so then I just kept thinking about what he loved and thinking about how kids love colors and play. And then it just came to me and I was like, oh, and I wrote it in one night. I was just laying in bed and I looked at my husband and I was like, I know what I'm going to write about. And he was like, all right. And I literally just wrote it out in one night. It was so rough draft. And then I was like, can you help me rhyme this? Because he's really good at the rhyming part. And he was like, yeah, sure. And like he helped me rhyme it. And then hence here we have a book. And then I found we were like, find an illustrator. And it took a little bit longer, but that's how the idea came about, really.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. And as comfortable as you are with it, give us a little introduction to Miles and tell us a little bit about what we can expect in learning from this beautiful book.
Yes. So Miles is now 7. He has had such a journey in his little life already, and he is such an inspiration and a true superhero. And at the age of 4, he developed a seizure condition out of nowhere, just literally out of nowhere. One day started having grand mal seizures. Like it was insane and scary. And it was not, and I'm a nurse practitioner. My husband's a dentist. So we're used to the medical side of it, but it was just like, what in the world? And it was 911 calls and praying and that he's going to wake up and still be somewhat himself again, and we went through all these doctors and these medical diagnoses and all these medication changes and these tests and studies. And it was rough. And I always say to people, if you're a mom who has a child with a medical condition of any sort, sometimes you live in that fight, flight, or freeze state because you just don't know what's going to happen next and you're looking for answers. And so for 2 years that he was going through these seizures and we were going through testing and we're trying to figure out why and what we should do, I was in that state of mind and just with a newborn baby and a 3-year-old. So it was a lot. And every mom, I'm very blessed and lucky that I had the support and that I had the medical background to really infuse that and advocate for him in this scene, because I've seen and been around a lot of situations where parents aren't able to do that for their kids, and it's frustrating. And I think that if I didn't have the background, we wouldn't be where we are here today. And my personality of like, no, that's not enough. No, I need to find answers. No, I don't think that you're right, because I truly felt that we were missing something, and we were. He had a brain lesion that wasn't caught on his MRI for over a year until we found a 4th neurologist. And so I was like, we need to do something about this. So essentially I just thought, as we were going through this process, Miles changed. He was vibrant and super smart and super articulate with his emotions. At the age of 2, a kid poured water on his shoes and he looked over and said, that made me mad. He's a 2-year-old. I mean, what 2-year-old does that, And so we kind of lost that in those 2 years. And so I was trying to figure out a way, how do I bring that back, but not so stressful? Because at 18 months, he was speaking full on sentences and he was very verbal, and we lost a lot of that through the medications and the seizures. And so I thought, how can I help him express these feelings without words? And kids love color, they love play, and he loved dressing up as a superhero. That was his jam. Like every costume in his closet, Superman, Spider-Man, like his whole room was decorated, and he loved wearing capes. And so I thought, let's just infuse the things he loves with color and emotions, and hence the book came about.
Oh, and you have a copy of it behind you.
I do.
Yes. Can you put it closer to us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is his book. It's got all the colors of the feelings of he picked out the colors. Like I said, okay, if you were, we're going to talk about different emotions, and if, silly, what color do you want for silly? And then, that's his sister in the book.
That.
Yeah. So it's so cute.
Great.
So yeah, we said, here's the emotions, you tell me the colors. And he picked the colors, and a lot of them are pretty typical of what you would think a kid would pick colors, like blue is sad and black is mad. But yeah, so that's how the book came about. And then I realized that because I wanted this book to help other kids, I didn't really think about the parent part of it from the beginning. I was thinking about the kid part. So I want this book to help and support other kids when they're scared, when they have medical procedures, when they have to go to the hospital, when they have to go to the doctor, or just any big emotion that they're feeling. If they could just put on a colored cape and feel safe, connected, brave, or whatever they like you putting on. It doesn't have to be a cape. And then I realized that a lot of parents said to me, this is actually helping me with my emotions and how to teach my kid to regulate their own emotions. So it turned into now I'm kind of like a parent coach in a way.
I love that. And, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that parents really do learn from the books that they are able to read their children, especially when they do partake in the reading to the children and really take advantage of that time when they're little and they love books and they love the colors and the pages and all of the things. It's so much fun at that time. And I just love that so much. And I was thinking while you were talking, how wonderful for the siblings. I mean, how for his siblings, how did that transpire to them in understanding him better or supporting him and their own feelings?
Yes, that's a great question, because when I was so involved in this medical crisis, so call it, and I had the newborn that I was breastfeeding every, 2 hours and trying to figure out what to do. I was like, this little girl, Mariah, who's my middle child, was like, okay, she's, she's kind of getting lost in the mix a little bit. And I realized she started to have these grandiose, big emotions that were coming out in negative ways. It was like hitting and screaming. And I was like, oh, I need to go back to that understanding of what the book means and teach her those things as well. And so the book, as we were discussing and I was telling them about the book as I was doing it, I was bringing them in on it and saying, I'm making this book to help kids with emotions and feelings. And now even with her, Mariah, at age 5, I'll say, what, you look sad, and she likes tutus. So we're actually creating a book for her called Mariah and the Colorful Tutus of Feelings, which is going to be our next put out soon, hopefully by December. Yes, that's her thing. So it's helped her really, and me, because she's my big emotion kid, tap into why she's having that emotion and give her an outlet that's less negative with hitting and screaming and running, and more creative with color and play. And that's really been so beautiful to see with the other siblings. And my 2-year-old's too. My 2-year-old is too. And now he's like in that hitting stage too. And I'm like, what is happening? And so I'm like, okay, let's start from scratch. Here we go again. Let's start teaching the emotions. And now Miles is not really into superheroes and capes anymore. He's like, Mom, I'm kind of grown up. I'm like, oh, but you're still my baby.
Right.
And then the little 2-year-old's like, I'll wear the cape. And he runs around with his cape on with the emotions. And we've been working on it with him. So that's kind of how we've infiltrated it in with them as well.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah. And what about your community? Tell me about how the schools or, neighbor kids, things like that. What's been happening on that front?
Oh my gosh. So our community of friends has been so supportive, and a lot of them have purchased the book, or they're like, oh my gosh, we just love this idea. And it's really they obsessively read the book because they know the characters in the book. But I have a cousin who's actually creating a curriculum for the book to offer to teachers, in schools. So that's hopefully going to be uploaded to the website. We do have a website, and I'm hoping to upload it to the website as soon as she finishes it. I've spoken to his teachers, and we have some ideas of how, without capes, because capes are kind of big and they have uniforms at their school, a way to allow kids to express their emotions with color, but in a discreet way, so only the teachers can see how they're feeling versus if they don't want to express it to the other children. So we're thinking of like token ideas on their desks, and they could choose it and flip it over, and only the teacher can look at the color. There's different things we've come up with some brainstorming ideas. And then also at the hospital that Miles had his brain surgery. So hence he ended up having brain surgery, and that's a whole story. But I am going to be speaking at some of their doctors' conferences, their patient support conferences, to other parents who are going through these things, and just giving an outlet of understanding and support. And not just through colorful capes, but just other ways to help parents and children through situations. So the community has been so amazing.
I'm so happy to hear that. And you're really giving the community so much value. And the educating piece, excuse me, is so important because just that little bit of how to advocate better for their child, for themselves, to a doctor, to a nurse who sometimes, I was a medical paralegal and a massage therapist. So strange. I mean, I have a different way of having a medical background, but I still do. And so in the way that it helped me to the same thing. No, this is not right. No, I am not. I'm sorry. That is not, I do not agree with that. You have to be such a strong parent. That's such a tricky job sometimes, because you go in with all of the trust and all of the humbleness, almost obedience, and just all of these other things. And then to have to defy or anything and go your own way, it's scary. And
it is.
I'm really proud of you guys that you listened to that instinct and just did what was right. And I think that we have this underlying, mother's intuition, single fathers out there. I'm sure you have some too, whatever it takes. So I think that really learning about how to access those types of things, and give me your website really quickly so I can put that up here. I was going to say that.
Yes. It's www.colorfulcapesofeelings.com. But yes, I totally agree with you. And I'm a nurse and a nurse practitioner. My husband's a dentist. And so, I think we're sometimes taught to just do what we say, what doctors say, what teachers say, what police officers say, all those kind of things. That's obedience you were speaking of. And truly, we respect their knowledge. Honestly, there's always, respect because of what they know and their history and what they've seen. But in a sense that sometimes our egos get in the way, even as medical professionals. And, it's hard. And I think that you have to listen to your intuition when it comes not necessarily from an anxiety state, which is really hard to do when you're in such a freeze, fight or flight state, when you're having a medical crisis, because your anxiety is going to overproduce that cortisol. And then you're just going to really feel like everybody's telling you things that aren't right. Right. So in a way, it's kind of finding that balance between, okay, I'm really anxious because my thoughts get crazy sometimes. Like, Miles has been off his seizure medication for a month now. And then one day he woke up with a headache and a stomach ache. And that's how always he would have his seizures. It would start that way. And so I started panicking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's this like intense PTSD panic in the middle of the night. And my husband's like, it's okay, calm down, take a breath. And literally he was just sick. Like he had the flu. But you know what I mean? It was like, my anxiety overtook and I wanted to call 911, but he wasn't even having any seizures, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that when I'm able to somewhat ground myself in a way of truth and listen to my intuition, that's when it really comes out. And I can say, listen to this doctor, like, I don't agree with you. I don't think it's an abdominal migraine. I think we should investigate. I don't like that medication that you're giving him. It has severe side effects. Can we find a new one? And just, even if you don't know anything about medicine, somebody around you does, or whatever, not just medicine, anything, a friend of yours does. So reach out and say, I just don't feel right. It doesn't sit right. How can you help me get there?
Absolutely. And go to the website and send questions if you have questions and you want to, ask maybe for resources. And please feel free to reach out, and I'm going to put that back up really quickly. Colorful, hopefully I spelled that all right. Colorfulcapesofeelings.com.
Yes.
And really take advantage of those resources. Order the book, of course. And where can they order the book? Let's talk about that too.
That's a good question. So it's on Amazon in many different countries, on obviously the United States. You can get it. Those are all paperback covers. If you want a hard copy, you can get it at Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million right now.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna, right now, the Amazon, on the website, there's actually a link to the Amazon, but I'm also gonna add the Walmart and the Books A Million and the Barnes & Noble. So it's very surreal and very exciting.
Oh, I can imagine. And when should we be expecting the next book? So you said possibly December. So is there like a pre-launch or a link, or get our hands on all of it?
Oh my gosh, the website's going to have all the information, but I am trying my hardest to get Mariah's book out before Christmas. The illustrator, it's really in the illustrator's hands right now, and she's amazing, but it does take time. And so we're trying to do this because Miles's book took about 8 months, and this one will be cut in half by half of that. So we'll see, man. I'm pushing. If not, probably January or February, but I'm hoping December. And that's Mariah's book. And then my other little 2-year-old Micah, he has a book coming early spring next year. Yep. And then I have another book, and it's called Mommies Have Big Feelings Too. And it's going to be a children's book, and it comes out probably in the fall of next year.
We're like soul sisters from the dry and the wet climate.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's so great. In fact, I had these here. I'll show them to you after we get off, because I'm not promoting my books right now.
No, but I would love to see yours. I love it.
But yeah, what a great process. And the fact that you integrated your own experiences, I think is so important, because yes, there's so many books about, other lists of things or whatever. But when you talk about kind of your own experiences when you go through things, and you put that out for others to learn from, there's such a connecting point and a relativity that people in your community can get and really support and just celebrate all of that. And so thank you so much for the wonderful value that you're bringing to the amazing people around you and all of the children and moms and dads, because it really does take all of you to kind of access that neutral field of communication to then be able to discuss all of the various levels outside of that.
Correct.
So
yeah, it does. And I think that it takes a village. And so I wanted to create something that not only parents could use, but teachers and medical providers. And because it takes a village, and you can't always do it alone. So it's been an amazing journey. And in the book, Miles actually presents these capes to different friends in the book who need them based on their emotions. And it's just, based on his true life story of his resilience. And he really is the superhero. He's the inspiration behind it all. And I envision, and my goal really is, I envision a world where this book helps kids feel less scared of their emotions and can find ways to embrace them and celebrate them.
Yeah. And I love that you're putting it out there, because another big spotlight we need to have and shine on it is that emotions are okay. They are you have to transcend through them. You have to teach your child how to embrace and process and release all of the things. And you can only do that from a space of your own practice. You can't teach them.
True.
You do not know, or you don't know how to present. So practice yourselves, moms and dads, and then you can be the masters of practicing your own with your children's feelings as well.
Well, that is so true. And they model what you do. Really modeling is the best way to teach your kids how you want them to act. And I mean, they're so enamored by you as little kids, and you're their superhero, you're their life, you're their breath. And so if you can model that, oh my gosh, I'm frustrated right now, I'm just going to take a really deep breath, or I'm going to scream into my pillow, and they're going to watch you. And the more you do that, they're going to do that too. And so I try to always, I've done a lot of work on myself as well.
Amen.
And girl, I'm still going. It's constant.
Ongoing process. Yes, always. I love that.
Yeah. Yes. And so I think, because parents come to me and they're like, okay, we love your book, but how do we do it? Like, how do we do this? Like, I need practical advice, not just like reading it. And I actually have a lot of blogs on the website about how to parent this way. So that's been the nice part. I've been able to give you actual actionable steps. And so if you go to the website and click the blogs, you'll see like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And it just gives you things that you can work on daily to get closer to that and help your kids get closer to that.
Oh my gosh.
Embracing emotions.
So that is colorfulcapesoffeelings.com.
Yes.
Go check out the book, get your books, get your probably notifications or alerts or whatever you need for other information. Subscribe if she has an email list, and also support on social media. Talk about that. Where are you at on social media?
Yeah, so we do have a Instagram page, and it's called Colorful Books, I think. Oh my gosh, I gotta look. I'm so bad about it.
We can put it in the show notes. Totally.
Okay, good. I'm trying so hard to be better about Instagram. It's called colorful_feelings.books is what it's called. So yes, I am getting there. That's the part of it that
right.
What is my social media
characters and under name before until I got to Instagram?
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, everybody asked me that, and I'm like, what is my Instagram name again?
Fantastic. It's been so nice to talk to you today, and thanks for taking the time out. And I'm glad that Micah, right, was able to get to his little nap so that we can have that. And
I know it. He's right here sleeping.
Oh, I love that. Thanks for introducing us to Miles and Mariah too. And it's been so much fun having you on. And I'd love to invite you to come back with the other books and things like that, so that we can talk more about those and promote it, of course.
Absolutely. I will be back on any day, anytime you let me know. I'll keep you updated on when the next launch is in my crazy life already.
We'll make sure to follow each other on social medias personally and everything, so we can keep in touch. So thank you so much for your time today. This has been so much fun, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Yes. Thank you again for everything.